I've destroyed my health. Okay, maybe not so dramatic yet, but I want to share something important with you. Let's talk about work, specifically how it's affected me over the past 12 years of my career. I've made plenty of mistakes that have impacted my health, and my body is starting to send me signals now. I'm here to share my story and hopefully to prevent you from making the same mistakes. So let's take a trip back in time for a while. Do you recall those days when you were wrapping up your studies and already setting your sights on your dream company? That was exactly me. I went beyond the classroom, soaking up as much knowledge as possible about the industry. You know how it is. For me, it was pretty clear. I set up my sights on my dream company, which happened to be a firm that developed engines and chassis for Mercedes-Benz and other luxury cars. At that time, I was determined to work there. So I put in a tremendous effort to secure the job. I studied technical aspects of the industry along with details about the company itself. I mean the history, key people, and so on. Does it sound familiar to you? And it paid off. I excelled in the interview and was hired on the spot, which was quite unusual. Right after the interview, the director invited me into his office to meet me. Can you imagine how happy I was? I celebrated, but this success had also a dark side. I felt a huge responsibility not to disappoint my new bosses, and that's when everything began. Remember your first days in your first company? I pushed myself relentlessly, learning the necessary software for the job in my spare time, studying a second language crucial for work, and putting in even 14-hour days to excel. Money and promotions came quickly, but so did more tasks and stress. My body started showing signs, like hand issues from excessive computer use. But at a young age, I didn't give it much consideration. Guess what followed? Exactly. I climbed the corporate ladder quickly, becoming one of the youngest managers in the company. But with that came a new set of challenges. More responsibilities, more stress. I found myself working weekends, taking my job home with me. The corporation actually loves people like that and wants to keep them, of course. So more money was coming in. Soon after college, I had a paycheck I never dreamed of while I was studying. Suddenly, I could afford luxury holidays. I traveled around the world, Europe, Asia, America. But after a few weeks of vacation, it's back to work at full throttle again. Don't get me wrong. I always had a great boss who appreciated my passion. It was more about me, you know? That feeling of having so much to do, wanting to prove myself, and constantly striving to excel. Can you relate to that? Perhaps I pushed the envelope too much by attending training and workshops with colleagues who were several levels above me and several years older. I was always the newbie and the youngest of the bunch. It's great because you learn best when surrounded by more experienced individuals. However, it also had the effect of making me feel very stressed because you are the worst in a group. Career-wise, everything looked perfect. My friends asked me how I was growing so fast, how I managed to get a nice business car at such a young age. Not everything is as pink as it looks like. Behind the scenes, more and more assignments piled up to the point where I was bringing work home on weekends too. And now think, how many times have you opened your Outlook after work? I mean in the evening or during the weekend. And being a bit foolish, I added another burden to my plate by deciding to build another competency within the team. On top of my management responsibilities, I started learning programming with a few colleagues. I do my 9-to-5 job and then return to the laptop in the evening for 2 to 3 hours, plus a few more on weekends. My colleagues and I reached a very decent level and started developing an app for the department that would save everyone a lot of time. And we succeeded. But you know how this works, right? If you show more willingness, just more tasks will come. I had already made some of my money during that time, so guess what I thought of? I decided to build a new house. I enjoyed being hands-on and even did some of the work myself. So this project lasted me 3 years. And that's when my body started speaking to me again. Sleep became elusive, my mind constantly racing with work. I struggled to fall asleep because of work-related thoughts, often waking up at 5 a.m. with my mind in overdrive. Eventually, I developed reflux, when stomach acid backs up into the esophagus due to lifestyle factors like stress and poor posture. In the end, I had to learn how to breathe properly. This is a common issue for many of us. At work, we often forget to breathe properly. The result is that the muscles around the belly become weak, leading to a lot of problems. It took me 2 years to overcome this issue. But the real wake-up call came this spring. After 12 years of hard work, the weekend gateway left me in excruciating pain. Long hours sitting in front of the computer in the wrong position, extensive driving, and heavy lifting during house construction caused a 6 mm misalignment of one of my vertebra. This will have permanent consequences. I've been on sick leave for a month now, and no one knows how much longer I'll be out of work. And why am I sharing all this? Learn from my mistakes. I'm not saying don't work hard. We all need to earn a living, pay the bills, and pursue our careers while we are young and have the opportunity. Feel free to build your career in the corporate world if that's your path. Why not? But work smart and prioritize your health. Pay attention to your posture. Consider using a standing desk for part of your day. Take breaks to walk in the park or get some exercise. And I think you don't need to spend hours in the gym. Just incorporate stretching into your daily routine. This all was my choice, but looking back, it wasn't worth it. I realized that I don't need to take it all so seriously. We only live once, so let's enjoy the journey and not rush all the time, as silly as it sounds. At the end, keep in mind that we are just a human traveling on a spinning rock in the middle of space. So guys, what the hell are you still doing there? Get moving! Just go for a walk, for instance to the forest behind your town. Thanks for watching and remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to hit the follow button to catch more of my stories and experiences. I love sharing it all with you. See you next time.